A very good day to all our viewers and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel for the very first event in the 2015 Champion Motorsports GT3 series, which is sponsored by Woody's Lures, suppliers of lures and flyers for you fishermen and women out there. We are coming to you live from Brands Hatch Grand Prix Circuit in Kent, England. And this series will feature 4 GT3 cars, the BMW Z4, the McLaren MP4, the Roof Track, and the Ford GT. Now, Kevin, they're just finishing the qualifying, so real quick, tell us about this track.
Hey, Richard. Yeah, so it's 2.3 miles or 3.7 kilometers for all you using the imperial or metric system. Excuse me. Historic track's been around for a long time. Almost every corner has a name related to some past driver. It's a fast track. The corners are super fast. It's difficult to pass here. It is easy to spin. So it's going to be an exciting race to see how drivers handle all that action in these cars that are pretty similar on pace. Most of the performance gains we're going to see are just how comfortable is a driver with a particular car. Some of them have slight advantages in particular parts of the corners than others, but it probably isn't enough to pass on this track. So, Richard, I'm very interested to see how these guys are going to handle this busy packed field tonight.
Indeed. And at this point in time, we should play the lap guide, but we're going to waive that. The qualifying is only got 2 minutes left. So we'll not play the lap guide. We will show you a lap around this track a little later on. Now, the race details. We have a 1 hour sprint race. The fuel is limited to about 35-40 minutes. We have drivers separated into pro and amateur classes. And you'll see a little sign on the rear bumper of the car that says either pro or AM for amateur. Pro is plus 1600 and AM will be less than 1600 I rating. Now, Kevin, we have quite a few drivers in here that have some real life racing experience. Just tell us about a few of them there.
Yeah, so we know that Mike Reuter, he's raced late model stock cars in the past, so a little bit different than what he's driving today, but should be good. Jerry Hamilton is a guy that's raced in the SCCA in G production cars, which are loud and noisy if you've never heard them before. Chris Hamilton is a past motorcycle rider, John Paquin, also another G production car. So there is extensive experience in this field, but nobody's, I don't think, has actually driven a GT3 car before, which is a little bit different.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Now, with just, in fact, less than a minute to go for qualifying, I think we can safely run through the field at this point in time, don't you think, Kevin? So why don't you go ahead and give us the first of the guys probably in the top 10.
Yeah, sure. So currently on provisional pole is John Paquin with a 122.744, and that is 6/10 faster than the next car, Tom Radji. In third is Justin Bruner. And we just had a new guy move up into fourth. That's Ricardo Mendez. In fifth, Marcel Luz. In sixth is the first of the amateur drivers, and you can help see this on your timing screen by their car numbers. If they're a 100 car number, they're a pro. If they're a 200 car number, they're an amateur. If they're not either, then somebody screwed up their positioning. In fifth is Drew Lidke. In sixth, Kevin Binkley. Kevin Hennings. Ninth is Jason Lundy. 10th is Julie Redmond. Getting a little confused because I'm seeing drivers move around there, Richard.
Yeah, indeed. And they're still moving around a little bit. So you finished up on Jason Lundy. Following Jason, we have Julie Redmond. Then we've got Ryan Castellin, Hugo Barbosa, I should say, Rick Smith. Mike Ruder is a little way down. David Sock Rider follows. And then we do have in 16th place Tim Collier. Darren Leslie in 17th. Simon Goodwin in 18th. Jay Dargett in 19th. And Peter Hebron bringing up the 20th place.
In 21st, Troy Fagan. 22nd, Sonny Prince. David Slee, Warren McBary, Jerry Hamilton, Jason Zonder, Chris Hamilton, Christopher Burling, Anthony James, and Alex Peterson is the last car that has completed a time qualifying lap.
Yeah, there are other cars in the field. Jay Friels, Miguel Acrudo, Javier Torres, Kyle Heron, and Daniel Rice. But as you so rightly say, these guys have not completed the qualifying lap. Well, the checkered flag has flown on the qualifying. So now we are in a period where we will wait for them to grid up, and the race will start momentarily. Looking good, Kevin. These cars you mentioned earlier are all pretty similar. I'm just looking at some of the specifications of these cars. It still looks as if the Ford GT has got the horsepower to beat these guys.
Yeah, before I touch that, I just want to mention quickly that we do have a couple penalties from past races that are being handed over. Let's see, I'm trying to look at this. Javier Torres is one. He was not allowed to qualify, so he's got to start at the back of the field, as well as Kyle Heron and Jay Friel. So that's why you see that they have not turned pace laps, excuse me. Oh, as well as Miguel Alcrudo. I think that catches up everybody. So the cars that have not turned qualifying laps, it's because they were penalized. So two other things as we get girded up before this rolling start that we need to point out. These guys are not allowed to, well, I shouldn't say not allowed. They're not allowed to pass without extreme caution before the left onto Surtees. That's turn 4, and then they get the big, long straight in the middle to pass. So if you pass before that and you cause an accident, the admins take a very poor view of that and will penalize you. That may be why we saw the other penalties. But yeah, Richard, the Ford GT, I think this is a strong car for this track because, you know, it works really well on fast corners, and this is a track with a lot of fast corners. I think that Ford GT is going to be tough, but the other one that's going to be good here is the Z4, and guess what's also on the front row is Z4.
Indeed, and John Paquin is the driver of that particular Z4 in the number 71 car. He is a pro in this race, and therefore we expect some good things from him. Marcel Moose is in second with Tom Rathy in third place. That's the second row of the grid, and the second row is filled out by Justin Brunner. So it's going to be pretty exciting. It looks to me as if Z4s are prominent there. I do see in that top row though, in that second row, my apologies, I do see a roof track. No. Yes, it is. Sorry. Now they go away, Kevin, for the rolling lap. This is the pace lap, so one full lap to go, and then we will see some racing.
Indeed, 1 hour, as you said, with a short pit stop. So there is some strategy involved when you're going to make that pit stop, hopefully around some traffic. This is going to be interesting to see. We've seen these guys put on quite a show before, so I am looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is going to be a great race. And this is a tough track, make no mistake. Various other official races are being run this week on this track. I'm thinking of the little cars, the SRFs running at this very track in the GP configuration. But of course, these cars have power, twice as much as the little cars that we see from time to time. So it's going to be tough for them to negotiate some of these very, very fast corners, particularly 7 and 8, which is really fast. And this, where they are right now, Kevin, on this backstretch, this is about one of the only, maybe one of 2 passing opportunities.
Well, I'm going to argue with you about a passing opportunity. It's a really light braking zone in here. Super fast entry, and then you're kind of scrubbing speed mid-corner. So possibly you could, might be brave enough to stick your nose inside, but it'll be difficult to make it stick.
So having said that, then, where do you think is the best passing opportunity?
Boy, it's going to depend on where you think your car's a little bit better than the car in front of you. The traditional place is Druids. That's the hairpin acrobatic hill, because that's the hardest braking zone. But it's a tough place to make a pass. Real easy to defend there, and really make somebody work hard for it. I think really the best way to pass is pressure the guy in front of you and hope he makes or she makes a mistake and goes off the track.
Yeah, and you called it. That would be my choice as well. Druids Bend, if you can dive up the inside there. Now, we will have the pace car ducking off. They're getting ready for a start here, Kevin. The 71 car will lead them away. He's followed by Marcel.
Green, green, green!
That's John Paquin in the 71 car. Now he accelerates and takes off. Marcel moves, follows him. They go into turn one for the very first time. On his left there we've got Tom Rache looking on the inside, decided that he won't do anything right there. So 1, 2, 3 as they started, single file. We have Ricardo Mendes coming up in his roof track in the 4th position, and 5th position Justin Brunner in a McLaren. So all makes are in fact represented in the first 5 there, Kevin.
Yeah, we got a little bit of side-by-side action between Ryan Castelline and Drew Lidke, although it ended right away, and Hugo Barbosa, and I can't tell who that is, Julie Redmond, side-by-side there through the corner, and I'm glad that they were able to keep that together, because that's an easy place to make contact there through Surtees. So, yeah, now we see him kind of get into the line. So some tight action to start off.
Yeah, indeed, and I was watching that as you were calling it. The Julie Redmond car, which is car number 257, one of the AM cars, having a go at Hugo Barbosa, who is a pro. He decided not to continue on with it in that very corner that we spoke about earlier on, which is, of course, very, very fast down there, the Hawthorne bend, so he did not try it there, and good on him for not trying it. At the moment, Kevin, pretty much single file. I'm looking way down at the back, but we're still not seeing any action, so we'll stick with the front at the moment, where John Paquin is still leading them quite nicely. Just a few car lengths behind him, though. Marcel moves, not giving him any opportunity to make the mistake right there.
And I just watched shoot, sorry, there's 3-car action that Ryan Cassidy popped inside of Drew Lidke into Druids, made it stuck. Hugo Barbosa tried to make it follow him through. Didn't work. Now he tries on Lidke through Surtees. That's not going to work. Tucks in behind him. Looks like right now Lidke might be a little slow on opening stints. Not sure if that's cold tires and he's not happy with the setup, or just a little bit off the pace. But Barbosa definitely looking a little racy right now, like he wants to get around.
Indeed, and that's the roof track versus the McLaren. At the moment, single file going through that very, very fast complex there. Westfield, Dingle, Dell, and Sheen Curve as they go through Sheen Curve right now. Now they come to the hard braking area for Sterling's Bend. They take the left-hander at the moment, still in single file. Let's see where he will try an opportunity. I think, given one of the other opportunities for a pass is if you can get a really good exit out of the last corner, you may have a run on the guy before you get back to turn 1 again.
Yeah, exactly. You said if you can really nail Clark Curve, get the power down over that hump in the corner there, in the middle of the corner, and get that power down, you've got a shot. It's difficult because it's yet another, it's a short braking zone. But yeah, if you can kind of get in on the inside of it, hold that to turn 1, now you've got the inside going into Druids, and now you've got a really good shot. So, but you can make it happen in turn 1, and I'm looking at Miguel Crudo, who's looking to try and get on the inside of Jerry Hamilton and Chris Hamilton. Not sure if they're teammates, I suppose so, since they've got the same paint scheme. But Miguel Crudo moving forward from the back of the field, struggling a little bit right now to pass some of these guys in front of him.
Yes, indeed. And you know, the front guys are currently all single file with a little gap after, let me see, Tom Rathie, a little way behind, and then 4th place, quite a way behind Tom Rache. So the action is pretty much back here in about the 23rd place, where we see cars very close to each other and also trying to make moves on each other. The guys we're looking at the moment was the ones you called earlier. Michael Acrudo, a pro. He's got an AM car in front of him in Chris Hamilton, and then Jerry Hamilton. Not sure whether they are indeed related. Their cars look pretty similar, so they may well be. But Michael Agrudo, the pro, now makes a move. He tries it on the inside of the very fast left-hander. They made a bit of contact there, Kevin, but both cars seem to be able to continue.
Yeah, Alfredo looking quick now, and I will confirm that the Hamiltons are on the same team, Hamilton Motors Inc. So I assume, yes, that they are related as well.
Well, that was just a pretty risky move there from Michael Accrudo, going into a corner where you don't normally see a pass happening unless somebody makes a mistake. But he made it stick. He will have taken a little bit of damage from that. It doesn't seem to be harming his car in any way. Now he's got in front of him Michael Accrudo we are talking about. He's got Chris Hamilton in front of him, having got rid of Alex Peterson there. So the first of the Hamiltons just in front of him there at the moment. In fact, where is Jerry Hamilton? They were together. Now Jerry is way back. So obviously he's had a problem. So Chris Hamilton, Michael Accrudo battling it out, but Michael Accrudo seems to be able to put the power down now and start chasing the next one. So let's go back to the front there quickly and have a look and see what's happening. John Paquin still leading with that big Ford GT and making it look quite easy at this point in time. Second place, Marcel Moose, still not that far behind Kevin, still giving a good account of himself in the Z4. And then of course Tom Rajay, who looks like he has not been able to make any impression, just kind of holding station. We'll see what happens, bearing in mind, guys, that there is a pit stop involved here. So Kevin, why don't you tell us what will happen in these pit stops?
Well, not much. We'll take a look at the fuel. Only completely blank on the number amount of fuel that they need. It's only going to be about 10 seconds worth of fuel at the absolute most, and then they'll be right back out. They shouldn't need to take tires. These tires are good for about an hour long, and the time penalty for swapping them, I don't think you'd be able to make it up on track in this short race. So we'll see them take fuel and get right back out in the lead of things. They might get a little disturbed by the tires being a little bit colder than they were the last time they were on some track, so some guys might get caught out on that. We've seen it before. Hopefully we won't see it happen again unless we need some excitement going on. But it should be pretty straightforward, their pit stops, just looking to see who's going to be able to use the strategy to their advantage.
Well, there you go. And of course we know here's a move from Ricardo Mendes on the fourth place, and he made it stick into turn one there, Kevin. So he's just overtaken Simon Goodwin, who is one of the amateur cars, and Ricardo Mendes in car 107. He's also in an amateur car. He's just made up one position, and he can now look ahead to Tom Rajay and see if he can catch him. But that was a really good move, nicely done, and without too much trouble.
Simon Good was actually a lap down at sort of pit stop, so not for position. The top five has not changed at all. But yeah, other than that, it was clean action on track.
Well, there you go. And I did not actually have a look at the lap positions. Simon Goodwin struggling there with the McLaren, so obviously he gave up pretty easily. I wondered why the maneuver was so easily done. But there you have it. First mistake. Give me a smack when you next catch up with me, Kevin. Meanwhile, let's go back to that battle between Chris Hamilton and let's see who is following him right now. Alex Peterson. Yes, Alex Peterson has closed up since we last came here, and in fact he's right on his back bumper right now. He pulled that gap again. Really fast complex. I love this complex, Kevin. These complex of turns. It's only when you get geared to this left-hander that you really have to brake. Otherwise, it's just a little touch of the brakes and almost flat out through those three turns. So here comes Alex now. They brake hard for the right hand at the last turn. Now he's really close. Let's see if he can do something before turn one.
Yeah, it looks like Peterson is looking to the inside, looking on that apex, down hard on the curve, but Hamilton takes a little more speed on the exit. He's holding that position. Alex Peterson has to fight another day, but now we see Warren McGeary and his teammate Kevin Innings side by side through Druids. A little bit of action there between teammates. teammates, and it looks like, nope, they're going to keep fighting it out a little bit. They might be better served to just let it go because, yep, there we go. Mike Reuter makes that spot, 2 spots up there, I think, by sneaking in on the inside.
Yeah, side-by-side action that we just saw. Warren McGarry, Mick Garry just lost out there. In fact, he lost 2 positions in that interchange. And now in front of him we have Mike Reuter, who's looking at Kevin Hennings. And of course, Kevin and Warren McGarry, who goes off track and loses another position there to a Z4. That is in fact Carl Heron, who's just passed as well. So troubled times here for Warren McGarry. But going back to the action just in front of them, we've got Mike Reuter now looking to try and catch Kevin Hennings, who in turn is trying to catch Alex Peterson, who in turn, Kevin is trying to catch Chris Hamilton. So the action is very good at the rear of the field here.
Yeah, indeed, these guys are having themselves a nice little battle, and
here comes Alex again.
No, that's quite all right.
Go ahead, Kevin, sorry.
I thought I had a story, well, a little bit of one. Tom Radji in 3rd place is having some connection problems. He's blinking in and out. Some pretty good long blinks. He might get DQ'd from the session. Or excuse me, not DQ'd, but disconnected from the session with these problems. And that would be unfortunate because he has caught up to Marcel Moose and really looking to put on a battle for 2nd place as they've fallen off from 1st.
Yes, we're driving along with Tom Rathie, I should say. We've got to get that right. I'm so used to calling him Tom Rathie. Now we are talking, we're going to be facing as a battle on between Alex Peterson and Hamilton. Alex wants that position. Kevin has tried a few times in turn 1. Now he's trying as he goes through Westfield and then in Dingle Dell, and now coming up the Sheen Curve. He's off, so he does not have the pace going through the latter part of that sequence of corners, but he does really close up as they approach the final corner. So let's see what he can do here, but yes, it is battle on.
And unfortunately, he caught Kevin Hennings by surprise a little bit. Hennings got loose, checking up a little bit, drove off the track, and he's dropped several spots. Hennings was looking to take over that position from Peterson, and now he's got some work to do to catch up.
Yeah, and in fact, Mike Reuter is in that yellow and black car there. He's caught up to these guys. We saw him catching up before as they go into the hairpin right now. 3 abreast, not abreast, 3 apace, one behind the other. Still, Chris Hamilton. Oh, as we see spin. Oh, and he just touches Mike Reuter as well, takes him out. Unfortunate for Alex Peterson there. Chris Hamilton now is will get completely away from these guys. Pretty hefty damage I'm seeing on Mike Reuter's car there. Maybe we can get a replay of that, director.
And we're looking at that replay right now. And yeah, we can see, there we go, there's the action on track. That's Mike Reuter backing up there, so we need to back up just a little bit more, which is here. There we go, so keep an eye on that blue and white Porsche in front of you. And you see he gets a little bit loose, comes across, hits the right rear of Reuter, and stacks these guys up a little bit. So, unfortunate incident there, but these guys should be able to fix that in the garage. They should get a reset. And I just watched Jay Friels spin off track. He's moving around. I can't see him behind a tree now, trying to find him.
Action happening here with Kevin Binkley. Kevin Binkley on Justin Brunner at this moment. Justin Brunner, Kevin Binkley. Kevin makes it stick, and another one sticks his nose in there. That's Jason Lundy. Real fast action happening here. And we've got the McLaren now managing to get away with that. The Z4, 2 McLarens battling it out. They go virtually side by side into that final left-hander coming up to the final turn. 3 abreast here, one behind the other now. Jason Lundy has a quick look, decides, of course, it's not a good idea. And now they go along the sweeping right-hand curve, heading back towards turn 1. Some good action here, Kevin.
Indeed, you can see Ryan Castelline in 8th place. He's in the red and black BMW behind Jason Lindy in the Gulf Oils BMW, who's taking a look on the inside of Justin Bruner. Backs out. Nope, he's back up in front again. Looks like he might get the McLaren of Bruner. Indeed, he does. Into Graham Hill they go. Castelline poking his nose and decides not to have a go at that. So good action there. Good clean pass by Lindy.
Yes, that was a great pass, and that's we spoke about it earlier. That's one of the passing places into that hairpin. It's a hard braking area, and if you can, if you can start your run down the straightaway, get a good exit out of turn 1, you've got a good opportunity of making the pass, which he did. Jason Lundy running a really, really good race. Jason is now up to, it says on the screen here, 9th place, but I imagine that will increase by 1, so he'll at least be in 8th place. In front of him, we have we have Kevin Binkley, so that is the next target for Jason Lundy. Let's see what he can do. We have Z4 versus McLaren. Let's see if the classes or the makes of cars, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of one-upmanship going on here, Kevin. If you are in one brand or the other, you'd like to see your car be able to beat the other one.
Indeed, and we've got a nice little mix here, as you said, McLaren, BMW, and then up Porsche, or excuse me, a Rufus. Hugo Barbosa has caught up to this back. He's the yellow and black car in the tail there. So nice little action here as each of these guys has a slight different advantage over the car around them.
Yeah, and this is a 5-car train at the moment. Just having a look behind them is Jason Zondo. Nothing doing for Jason. He's quite well back. So back to the action here. At the rear of this 5-car train, we've got Hugo Barbosa. Then we've got Ryan Castelline, and he is behind Justin Bruner, and he is behind Jason Lundy, who can't make an impression at the moment, Kevin, on the McLaren of Kevin Binkley. Kevin doing a great job of just staying ahead of Jason Lundy, but I get the feeling that Jason is looking pretty racy and may just have a little bit more than does Kevin Binkley.
Yeah, I don't think I can disagree with you. And now we're seeing Ryan Castellane on the outside of Justin Bruner into the last corner. That's going to be a tough one to make happen. But looks like Castellane's getting a great run out. Barbosa even looking to make a move on the outside as well into Paddock Hill. That's going to be a tough one to make happen. Bruner's defending on the inside. Castellane is clear and gone. Barbosa into the gravel. Back onto the track. Bruner on the inside going into the Druids hairpin. He's going to have the preferred line. Can he get on the power nice and early? They get on the power at the same time. Now Barbosa's got the inside into Graham Hill and makes it stick. That's how you do it there, Richard.
Yes, indeed. And big news, guys. 3rd place, Tom Rache had a problem of some description. We did not see the action, but he is currently sitting in the pits.
And he is back out. That was a fairly quick stop. I wonder if he's just serving his pit stop early. We're in the beginning sessions of that pit window, so he may have just decided to serve his stop early and see if he could pass Marcel Moose in pit lane.
Well, Kevin, now when he went into the pits, I'm just looking at his car right now. When he went into the pits, he had damage. The wing was all damaged, and there seemed to be some other damage. They do have a fast repair in this series, so he's got himself a new car, as you can do in virtual racing. iRacing allows that sort of thing. He's back out there, but he's well down now in what's showing here as 16th place. So a lot of work for Tom Rache to do to catch back up to the position that he was in previously.
And Richard, I found it now. He got loose coming out of Westfield and spun it into the wall. So, yep, you're absolutely right. Big damage on the car, and that's why he stopped to get that repair in there. The car was driving, but clearly was going to be very, very, very slow. So I guess we'll have to see. He's not going to be able to pass Marcel Moose in this race once mistake. So I'll have to see just how far he's dropped because of that wreck.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm just looking at him now. The timing and scoring screen showing him ahead of Peter Hebron, but that's not true. Peter Hebron is in front of him. Let's get back to that battle there with Barbosa and Bruner and Castelline, because these guys have moved up in positions now as well. Kevin Binkley is in 4th position at this moment, Kevin.
He is a long ways back from 3rd, about 7.5 seconds. The car in front of him is not in position. That's a lap down. But you can see Jason Lundy still trying to hunt down Binkley. Castellan trying to hunt down Lundy again. They got a little bit of separation because that pass attempt on Jason Bruner. But it looks like this lapper is holding up Binkley. Lundy has caught up behind him. We might see some action here as they come around Clark Curve, Richard.
Yeah, and in fact, the lap car has done them a disservice. He hugged the inside line there. Not that you can blame him, but certainly these guys were caught up a little bit going into that final turn. Coming onto the main straight, they both passed him, but Lundy is looking again at the rear bumper now of Kevin Binkley. Let's see what he can do as they come out of the hairpin.
We have a spin. Castellan spins and hits the wall. Sorry to bump in. Spun getting loose out of Drew. It's easy to do. He hits the wall. He's got damage on the front. He's going to have to come in and get that reset because that car does not look good right now.
Good call, Kevin. Yes, indeed. He's looking at Castellan right now. From the rear, he looks okay, but certainly must have got some damage on the front. So back to the action up there with Jason Lundy. Still the same thing. Kevin Binkley just doing a great job in that McLaren, holding out Jason Lundy, who looks like he might make a move, but then the power comes down on the Kevin Binkley machine. Now he goes off track. And that is what Jason has been waiting for. We put the commentator's curse on him, Kevin.
Yes, indeed. Binkley just got a little bit loose on the entry, and in saving the car had to go all 4 off, and that opened the door for Jason Lundy. Easy to do there. That's a fast corner. You're trying to just hold on to the car in that corner, and unfortunately just got a little bit of him there for Kevin Binkley, and that allowed Jason Lundy by. Now Jason needs to really put the hammer down because he's got some lap cars not too far in front of him. Needs to be able to get some space on there to keep Binkley from having a chance to repass him.
Yes, indeed. Now, let me just say there's some great racing going on here all over the track. What we just saw there was an opportunistic move from Jason Lundy, but Kevin Binkley now, it's strange that when you are the car behind, suddenly you've got kind of an incentive to go faster than you were when you were in front. Right now he's looking at the rear of Jason Lundy and trying to get that position back. Let's have a look around, Kevin. Is there anything else that is happening at the moment that we can call that looks like a good battle?
Yeah, I want to hop back to both 13, Sonny Prince and Drew Lidke. They are about a half second apart on track, have been for a few laps now, I believe. And I just want to see how these guys are going on. I've been wanting to take a look at them and haven't gotten a chance to yet. You can see Sonny Prince is in the orange and white Ford GT, and Drew Lidke is in the black and gold McLaren, who's taking a look on the inside there of Hawthorne. That is a tough place to make a pass, and sure enough, that's not going to work. Yeah, it looks like Lidke wants to get around and see how he's doing.
Yeah, you know, I'm just looking at that Ford GT. It's so flat. You know, the McLaren looks nimble and kind of petite compared to the muscle that is the Ford GT. And perhaps when we get John Paquin coming around again, because he's in a Ford GT as well, Joe, we might see a car on the left there off track. That is Zondor, who's got back going again. But as I was about to say,
here we
Joe,
go. They're making the move. Lidke on the inside into turn 1, makes it stick. Sonny Prince is now going to try and attack into Druids. No, he's not. He's going to just give it up and live to fight another day, I think.
Well, so it looks like nimbleness won the day there. But as I was going to say, thanks for that, Kevin. Yeah, it looks like Lidke is kind of moving away now from Sonny Prince. But I was going to say, Joe, when we get an opportunity, can we go on board with John Paquin and see what it is like a lap behind the wheel of some of these monsters?
we need to hop back up to 5th place. Jason Lundy and Kevin Binkley, they've got a lap car that they're trying to get around, and who was holding them up, and now lets them fly on the straight through. They go into Paddington. So I thought that was going to be exciting, and it was exciting.
That's all right. Now we're going to go on board with John Paquin, who is leading the race here. He is in a Ford GT. Let us see what it looks like from inside the cockpit.
All right, so let's see. We are on Hawthorne right now, approaching Hawthorne. Hit very, very, very fast corner. You just got to kind of brush the brakes and scrub the speed in the little corner, and then up to the very fast Westfield, down the gear early on the power, trying not to run too far out into the grass, up to the hill. Again, a very fast corner, drop a gear, try not to run too far out into the grass, and then up to Sterling's. Use that banking to your hand, very, very fast corner, short braking zone, up over the hill, the clear ways, and into the long right of Clark curve. We got this hill over in the middle of the corner, and you're really trying to feed on the power, lean on that traction control, up, grabbing straight. It's not really very straight. And then you have the curve braking zone at Paddock Hill Bend. Try to avoid that lap car, and then way off the hill we go. Big plunge down. The car bottoms out under the compression into the hairpin of Druid. Sharp corner, long corner, down into second gear here, trying to feed on the power, and then you drop down the hill. Again, another curve braking zone for Graham Hill, and then we're going to try and run way out onto the right side of it. There's some pavement there in the grass that you can deal with, and then the very long, very super important Surtees corner there with a curve braking zone, curved apex, and then back onto Hawthorne, and that is a lap at Brands Hatch.
Fantastic. And may I say that John Paquin made it look so easy. Is very, very good behind the wheel of this car, which is hard to get around any track, much less this track, which has got high speed and lots of corners, lots of curves. He's just making it look really easy. The gap that we are seeing right now, Kevin, is 3.8 seconds on Marcel Moose, and Moose just coming through Sterling's at the moment there, heading down towards Clearway. So quite a nice gap for him, unless something untoward happens in the pit stops, or he gets involved perhaps with a slower car. We might see a win from John Paquin right here.
Yeah, Paquin is looking very good, as you said. Stable, he's slowly increasing that lead over Moose. Going to be tough for these guys to counterattack without some help. Although, nope, sorry, I was very confused there for a moment. But this battle between Jason Lundy and Kevin Binkley, I'm amazed, is still going on. We should point out that Hugo Barbosa got around Justin Groner for 6th, so they've changed up that order a little bit. Ryan Castline, who we've seen earlier, is currently in 16th after serving a pit stop and getting his car completely repaired quickly. But yeah, this Lundy-Binkley battle is still going, and now they have a lap car again in front of them. That is Warren McGarry, but this should be easy to deal with as they go down approaching Hawthorne.
Well, guys, we have passed the halfway mark. We are 32 minutes into this race, 32 minutes, 13 seconds. We still have 32 minutes remaining because, of course, iRacing does not take into account the pace lap. So at the moment, let's get back to this battle here. You said it, Kevin, Jason Lundy, Kevin Binkley, that's the big battle. But the other guys are not that far behind. We are talking about Hugo Barbosa and Justin Brunner. I'm driving along with Justin Brunner right now to see what sort of impression he is making on Hugo Barbosa. Doesn't seem like it's a lot at this stage, perhaps only a car length here or there. But it seems to me that these guys, because they've got freer air in front of them, they seem to be doing a little better than those two up front, Jason Lundy and Kevin Binkley. And I think they are slowly but surely catching them, Kevin.
You could be right. I haven't been keeping a close eye on their lap times the last few laps to see, as I just see there's a little bit of lap action going on in front of Jason Lundy. That was Chris Hamilton and Miguel Acrudo. That was for position. So Acrudo served that penalty early. He's a lap down, struggling to really kind of make good out of this, sitting in 19th overall right now.
Well, I can tell you from my timing and scoring here that Jason Lundy did 124.2 Kevin Binkley a 124.5. Hugo Barbosa 124.0. So there's those couple of tens we were talking about. Justin Brunner was the slowest of the four there with a 124.8. So looks as if Barbosa is slowly but surely catching up here, which is good to see, because we will be having a battle here very soon if this carries on.
Well, we can't say slowly but surely. I think he is caught up to Kevin Binkley. That's too close on track for me to say it's not. And there's a lap car in front of them. That's Chris Hamilton. We'll see how this shakes out as they come onto the pit straight.
Yeah, and Chris Hamilton was doing very well early on. He's lost a couple of positions. He's not that far back from where he was. In fact, he may well be kind of in the same position, but he is a lap down at this point. Jason Lundy going through the hairpin. I think you're right, Kevin. What's that coming on behind as well? Justin Brunner, there we go. And Warren, these are lap cars at the moment. So Justin Brunner, Chris Hamilton, the lap car. Then we've got Hugo Barbosa. Now he's making a move on Kevin Binkley, going into the left-hander. He decides that he threw all his cookies into the ring there. And now he's actually lost a little position, a little way. So let's see what happens. Barbosa, the man on the move. Hugo Barbosa, he's running a roof track, Kevin. Oh, he goes off track there a little bit. He's trying hard.
Indeed, you said it. Trying hard. It's easy, so easy to run off wide because you cannot see the exit of that corner when you turn in. So you're hoping that there's enough track out there for you, and there sometimes is not enough track. But yeah, it looks like Barbosa may be the faster car right now compared to Kevin Binkley as they're getting dropped off from Jason Lundy, although it didn't hurt that they had that pass attempt through Surtees last time by. But Barbosa goes into pit lane. Maybe he's decided he's had enough of that. Going to serve his stop, get some fill up his tank a little bit, and try again.
Yes, indeed. 28 minutes and 43 seconds, 42 seconds remaining. So we've just passed the halfway. These guys will take a splash of fuel, as you said. I'm interested to see if any of them are going to take tires. You mentioned that you shouldn't take tires. It'll be a waste of time, which, mind you, Hugo Barbosa is sitting there for a long time in the pits right now. The car in front of him is taking tires in the pits there, and that's Ricardo Mendez. So a couple of them are taking tires as well. So different strategies here, and I don't know whether this is a good or a bad strategy, because if your tires can last an hour, Kevin, then I guess even with a bit of wear, you should try and make it last. It's too slow to take tires.
Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense for me to take tires because it's about 20 seconds to change all four, and I just don't think you can make up 20 seconds in the what do we have, about 32 minutes remaining, or 36 minutes?
27.
I can't count. 27 minutes. I was looking at the time elapsed, not the time left. He's got to make up more than a second a lap right now. I think that's just going to be a really tough ask.
Well, we got information that Barbosa did take tires, which we just spoke about. So he's gone all the way back now to around 12th place, maybe even slightly further back than that. In fact, let me have a look. Barbosa, he's in 12th place. So maybe a bad call there. Now, Tom Rache, let's go and have a look at Tom Rache there, Joe. He, since coming out, he's made up a number of positions, Kevin, because he is showing as being back in 8th place. He has had a pit stop. Do you think that pit stop, getting the new car and perhaps filling up with some fuel there, will carry him through to the end of the race?
Yeah, it should be. I don't think it'll be a problem because he stopped right about the opening window of pit, the fuel service that you can handle. So I think he will be okay. He may have to serve a splash and dash. That's going to be the interesting question right now. But he's also got the ability to tune down the engine mapping right now, put it in a more conservative mode, and that can help you out if you're looking at a splash and dash. It doesn't really help you get an extra lap. It takes several hours really to get that extra lap. But he should be able to, I would hope, maybe fix that if he's got to deal with a splash and dash right now. Although, I was going to say I'm not seeing Jason Lundy on track, but he just came back. A lot of guys I'm seeing having problems with their connections, kind of dropping in and out. This may be a story later on, Richard.
Yeah, look, internet connections are so important in virtual racing, and iRacing is no exception. Tom Rache, I must say, looking very nice and neat. The car is completely repaired. No problems for him there as he's looking at a lap car at the moment. That's Kyle Heron. So he shouldn't have any problems passing Kyle. Kyle should give him some room. Now, it's interesting what you said there, Kevin, about the way you can tune these cars whilst you are inside the car. I know you can tune the traction control, you can turn it up to give you a little bit more traction as the tires start to wear. I probably didn't do that in the race that I was in, which put me in the wall, if you remember correctly.
Yes, I remember, and so do all our other co-drivers that didn't get to drive, but we won't dwell on that too long. Yes, traction control is one. ABS is another thing that you can control, as well as your throttle map and your brake bias. You can control all those things in the car, and can really help you out a lot depending on the track and the setup. But right now, I'm looking at Julie Redmond, who has caught up to Tim Collier in, Tim Collier's a lap down. Justin Bruner is the car she's chasing, and that is only a second on track, but they've got that lap car between them, Tim Collier and the McLaren, with the red and orange swirls all over the car. Good looking car. A lot of great looking cars out here today, Richard.
Yeah, indeed. I like a lot of the cars, and some of the paint schemes are very neat as well. Kevin, I just wanted to mention, if we look down there, I'm seeing that there are a whole bunch of cars that are off or out of this race already. I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 15 cars showing as not being on the track and not in their pit stalls either. So we've had a bit of attrition as well.
Sounds like Julie Redmond just went off. No, I see Julie Redmond still on track. Okay, sorry. So what I didn't see, and everybody else on all our viewers did see, Julie Redmond had a quick off and on. Back to it she goes. And but Richard, I'm going to have to debate with you a little bit. I see a lot of cars still on track, although I'm watching Jay Daggart. He is backwards on the grass right now with heavy damage on the front of his car. Looks like he just spun and hit a wall coming out of Sterling's. Pretty easy to do, but I have a feeling that's going to be the end of his race. Christopher Burling rejoining track right now, but looks like really the only people that are well and truly out, Mike Reuter, Jerry Hamilton, and Javier Torres, although there are some folks that are effectively out because they are dealing with big, heavy damage.
Yeah, and Marcel Moose from second place is just coming to the pits. Now, there are 22 minutes, almost 23 minutes left in the race. He is taking fuel at this point in time. He's coming in with 22 minutes to go after 40 minutes of racing, or nearly 40 minutes. He shouldn't have to take much fuel, but it takes a while to get the fuel into these cars because he's sitting there for what seems to be quite some time as well, and hasn't come back out yet. There he goes now. Kevin
Binkley beat both Jason Lundy and Marcel Moose out. So I'm thinking that, and comes out behind Tom Ratchey, who has moved himself up into second. So I'm thinking that Binkley did not take tires, and Moose and Lundy did. And boy, again, I feel that's the wrong decision.
Now, Moose did not take tires. He just sat there for such a long time. He didn't take tires, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. Now, the big question in my mind, Kevin, is John Paquin has not gone into the pits. Now he's in the pits right now as we speak. So let's watch him and see what he does. He's the leader of the race.
Yeah, we can see he is on the ground, so he is taking fuel right now. And I guess we're just going to have to see, once he's done taking fuel, they'll go up in the air, and that's them taking tires. But no, he does not go up in the air. He's right back out. So again, I think he made the right decision by not taking tires. And a nice quick stop, only 16 seconds. I think that's the fastest pit time we've seen yet. So well done by John Paquin. And he's got a massive lead right now, 54 seconds? Is that right, over Tom Ratchey in second?
In actual fact, it's 1 minute 14. Now it's 54. It's just updated.
and it just updated to 24 seconds on track. So a huge lead there from John Paquin, who is clearly the winner over the pit strategy.
Well, you said it, Kevin. I mean, that is the whole. That's the way all the pit stops should have gone. You go in, you get your fuel, 15, 16 seconds of fuel, and out you go. And that is what should have happened with the other guys. John has just shown them how it's done.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge. I'm just staggered. 23 seconds on track. So he gained, let's say, I think Moose was, about 5 seconds behind John on track right now. So John Paquin gained over 18 seconds on the entire field. That's just phenomenal.
Yeah, indeed. Well, let's just run through the order at the moment. The pit stop should be mostly finished about now. So John Paquin, after having done his pit stop, he is leading this race. He is the only man who's put a 1:22 on the board. 1 minute 22.744 seconds. Tom Rathy is in second place after having his problems early on. He's come back out and he's made his way through the field. The others had to stop for fuel, etc. Kevin Binkley in third place. Great run from him, Kevin. And Ricardo Mendes. Now, we haven't spoken much about Ricardo Mendes at all. But at this point in time, he is sitting, Kevin, in fourth place. And then we've got Jason Lundy in fifth place. So that's your top five. Hugo Barbosa just out of the top five. Let's have a look at Hugo. He is a little way behind. Yes, quite a way behind Jason. So the top five seem to have consolidated, but we do have Jason Lundy coming up on Ricardo Mendes. Battle time.
Exactly, and this is going to be interesting because Lundy's going to need possibly a couple of laps to see how Ricardo Mendes drives, because they haven't been around each other on track. So how these guys are handling the track, where they're weak, where they're strong, is going to be unique to each other because they haven't seen it yet, and these guys are in different cars. So they're not going to be driving the exact same lines, hitting the exact same points. So right now the advantage is with Ricardo Mendes for the first couple of laps, and he needs to be strong here. But after that, Lundy's going to have the advantage because he's going to know where Mendes might be weak or strong. But both these guys, possibly, maybe they should focus on trying to catch Kevin Binkley in third right there. So that's where they really need to maybe work together a little bit. So how do they want to do it? Do they want to move up a spot, or do they want to fight for what they got?
Yeah, you said it. Well, I do think Ricardo Mendes is making up some time on Kevin Binkley at this point. He's focused. They go down into turn one now, that huge downhill section where it is so easy to lose the car if you go out too wide. If you hit the sand there, you are gone, or possibly gone. Kevin, he has made up massive amounts of time on Kevin Binkley. In fact, he's right behind him at this moment.
Yeah, you said it perfectly there. Caught right up to Kevin Binkley and can actually really attack pretty much any time they want. And I see Kevin Binkley taking a very late wide turn in there to Surtees.
Oh, sorry to cut in. Lundy is also right there. In fact, he's having a look. Mendes goes defensive. And, of course, Lundy, as you said, doesn't know him all that well at this point in time. So he's not going to try to carry on with the move as they go through up the hill, Dingle Dell, through towards Sheen Curve. Let's see what happens. They're all together now, those three, Binkley, Mendes and Lundy, and they've got what seems to be a lap car in front of them. So that's Jason Zondor. He's the fly in the ointment right now. So this is battle on, certainly. And yes, trouble. Need a replay of that. That is tragic. Kevin might even be terrible. And now Lundy takes advantage, goes past Mendes, but that was sad to see.
Yeah, so it looks to me like Zondor was trying to let everybody by, and I'm not sure if he made contact with Binkley or not, but the end result was he got loose and right into Hugo Barbosa, Ricardo Mendes, who's got to be kicking and screaming about that. So unfortunate for Mendes to lose out on that. Not a whole lot he could do. Lundy, the winner there, Mendes, and the loser there for sure.
Well, Mendes is still behind Lundy, so he hasn't lost too much time, but I'm not sure how much damage he's got. I'm trying to have a look at the front of his car here. and I can see that he's got heavy damage on the right front of his car, Kevin. So doesn't seem like he's losing a lot of pace there, but one would think with that damage it's going to count as the laps wind down.
And you may have seen on your screen, viewers, the red Porsche, roof of Jason Friels, who spun coming out of Surtees into the wall hard. Spent a long time on the inside of the track there before trying to rejoin. That is a lot of damage on his car. I think he might be done. I think he had to fix his car.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Lundy's car now. Lundy wasn't involved. He managed to take advantage from what happened in front of him there. But just having a look at his car seems to be okay. So it seems that Mendes is doing a really great job of hanging on to him. Maybe the damage, it may look bad, but it isn't as severe as we think. As he comes right up, as they come into the hairpin, he comes right up to the back of Jason Lundy. I think he's still good, Kevin.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, I assumed that he was done and dusted for, but clearly not. And we've got a battle brewing up behind them as Hugo Barbosa is only a second behind his teammate Mendes, or at least I believe their teammates. I should double check on that. And Marcel Moose is all over the bumper of Barbosa right now, just 0.2 seconds, a fifth of a second as they're coming up to Hawthorne. Again, a tough place to pass. I don't see that happening here because it's a very, very fast entry. So Moose looking a little bit racy right now, I think, but a lot of cars in front of him to be picked off.
Well, indeed, and you know, Moose was in second place in the early part of this race as he comes right up, going. Whoa, there's a car off on the left, on the right-hand side there. That is Jay Dargett. Looks like he's got a lot of damage as the car just flew past and almost collected him there. But he's off the track now. He's just back on the track, I should say, driving around trying to get to the pits. No doubt, we'll see what happens with him. Jay Dargett. Meanwhile, back to the action up there. Jason Lundy still trying to catch Kevin Binkley, not making any impression at this point in time. But behind him, Ricardo Mendes with the damaged car, doing a really good job. But behind him, I'm seeing Hugo Barbosa looking pacey and trying to get that position from Mendes. So he's going to have his hands full in the not-too-distant future. And not to mention Marcel Moose, Kevin, who's trying to get by both of those.
Yeah, we have got to keep an eye on this because, as you said, Lundy all over Binkley. There's action all through here for third through seventh. So any of these guys could make a mistake and clean out somebody else, or they could move nicely. And it looks like actually Lundy's peeking on the inside. No, he's not going to do that. That would have been a risky maneuver going into Westfield like that. But Lundy looking very, very close onto Binkley, looking like maybe he wants to make a move of this, but not yet.
Yes, and I'm looking from Marcel Moose's car, who's in the last in the straight here. We have a car way out on the outside. That's a lap car, no doubt.
And that's allowed Lundy to move on the inside, makes it happen under Clark. So that lap traffic causing a position change right there.
And that is Alex Peterson, who was involved in the battle with these guys early on. But now, Kevin, we've got these four cars here.
Mendes on the inside.
Yes, go ahead.
Mendes on the inside through Paddock Hill, an aggressive maneuver, makes it stick on the inside and then into Druids, and then that allows Hugo Barbosa also to go through Druids as well. And now Marcel Moose looking on the outside of Graham Hill. That's a tough place to make that happen. And no, that's not going to work as he's going to have to look again after Surtees. So Binkley caught out by that lapper, drops him 3 spots. Unfortunate for him.
And that's how easily it can happen, unfortunately. Marcel Moose has got like a bird's eye view of the guys in front of him. He can see exactly what's going on, but he doesn't want to look at them from behind. He wants to look at them in his rear view mirror, which he's not doing at this stage. He's got Binkley. He almost had him there, Kevin. He tried, but it was too risky to make the move. But just in front of him now, Binkley has it all to do to catch up to Barbosa. And damaged car or not, Ricardo Mendes, respect, my friend. You're doing a great job with that car. And even more respect for Jason Lundy, Kevin, because he has taken some opportunistic, He's got...
There goes Barbosa on the inside into one. Moose also on the inside of Binkley. Looks like Barbosa's going to get his position. Moose is going to get his position. So fourth place changes and sixth place changes as well. Kevin Binkley just dropping off the face of the earth effectively right now as Moose catches right up under braking for Druids right there and then loses a little bit, but he's not far behind Mendez. Could make a move very quickly here, and he's going to have to do it quickly as the laps are running out quickly.
Yes, indeed. You know, we are 54 minutes elapsed time, so take away a couple, that's 52. There couldn't be more than 8 minutes left. So we've got about 7 laps to go at best, and certainly there are very few laps left. Now, Kevin, Moose, remember, took tires. We got an accident. Go ahead.
Barbosa spins, takes out Mendez as well, both off the track. Moose just very nearly gets collected by Barbosa and safely through, but bad news for Mendez. He's currently 8th, trying to get through the interminable gravel trap. He's back out. Barbosa is back on track as well. He's in 6th behind Binkley, and so unfortunate there. As well as we watch the replay, you can see Mendez way off, and then cuts back and before popping Barbosa.
And now the pressure is completely off Jason Lundy. Marcel Moose now a number of seconds back. In fact, it's about 3 seconds back, so he won't be able to catch him as the laps are running down. Kevin Binkley still hanging in there. He has inherited a couple of positions again. Barbosa, big loser out of that situation there. So Justin, well, the other guys are not even in the picture at the moment. Mendez has lost out severely as well. Bruno has passed him. So Lundy is the big winner out of that. Let's go to the front. It is time we put our cameras on our leader, John Paquin. Kevin, this man has made it look easy.
Yeah, he really has. He's been very clean today. That what little we've gotten to see of him. He's dealt with traffic very well. I saw him lose a little bit out to Tom Racci, but that was just dealing with traffic. As excuse me, I can talk easily sometimes. But Paquin, he just lost a little bit here and there from traffic.
Sorry to butt in. Big news. Racci from second place going back into the pits. Maybe that's that fuel stop that you mentioned earlier, Kevin.
It's got to be. I was hoping he wouldn't have to do this, but nope, he's going to have to stop. He comes in. He's serving this. It's about 2 seconds going on. I'm not sure. He's still serving his pit stop. This is a really long stop. Almost 10 seconds. So
Out he comes now.
I'm not sure why that was such a long stop, but indeed it was a long stop. He comes back out in 7th. He's got Ricardo Mendez all over the back of him. Mendez carrying a lot of speed into Druids, and Mendez is going to go by. Racci just gives that one up without a fight, oddly enough.
Yeah, well, he's just come out of the pits. You're still gathering your wits about you when you do that, because you're slower than you would normally be into turn 1, etc. So it's natural to give up a spot in such a situation unless you're Superman or something. But anyway, he's lost the position there to Ricardo Mendez, so that puts him back now in about 7th place. Jason Lundy is now in 2nd place. Kevin, what a drive from him.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic considering that he started in 9th. He's up to 2nd. Well done. So he's got about 25 seconds on track as he barely misses that lap car of Chris Hamilton. That would have sucked pretty badly for Jason Lundy to hit that lap car. But we got to still keep an eye on Hugo Barbosa. He is only a half second, or a third of a second behind Kevin Binkley on track. So he's got a chance to make something happen. And, yes, we've been keeping a lot of eye on the front runners here. And that's because honestly, there hasn't been a whole lot of action behind on track. So keeping you kind of just on the exciting stuff right here, guys.
Oh, there's the move is happening. It looks as if Barbosa is going to take the position from that
big
just
twitch.
didn't happen there.
Big
he
twitch.
tried.
They're still side by side going into Surtees. Barbosa going very aggressive on the turn-in. Can't make it happen side by side all the way throughout. Binkley gets the better run through. He's going to have the run going into Hawthorne. Is Barbosa going to try and make a move here? I wouldn't think so, Eve, but he's showing his nose. This is a fast turn-in, and Binkley says, nope, this is my corner, and Barbosa runs out of track, all four off onto the grass, and that allows Brunner to catch up a little bit more as Barbosa's going to have to gather himself up and try another move.
Yeah, that was touch and go there. Well driven by both drivers side by side for about a quarter of the track. So that was a big move from Hugo Barbosa in the number 13 machine, trying to get that fourth place from Kevin Binkley I should say. Binkley was having none of it. Now they close up again. It seems that Barbosa is pretty good on the straightaway going into turn one. And let's see what happens there. The roof is pretty good through this part of the course. However, this time Kevin Binkley seems to be more aware. Now they come into the Druids corner, the hairpin, and Binkley once again gets a really good exit there. Barbosa can't do anything about that. This is where they were side by side in the last lap. At this point, they are single file. Kevin, here he comes.
Indeed, he's making his move. Looks like John Paquin has been given the white flag. This is his last lap.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the pace there, Joe. Let us know when John Paquin is close to the finish line or coming through the last turn.
No, he's got another. No, so I'm sorry, that's bad information. He's got another 5 minutes to go.
Okay, so
4.5. Yep.
It looks like we were just a little way off there. We are sorry. We gave you some bad information. Let's get back to this battle between Hugo Barbosa and Kevin Binkley, because this is the biggest battle on the track at the moment. Marcel Moose has managed to get away from these two, and he is looking at Jason Lundy. In fact, let's jump to this battle here. Jason Lundy must have made a mistake somewhere, because now Marcel Moose just on the back of him as they come now through Druids. This is Moose looking for that second place once again.
Indeed, yeah, and I'm not sure where Lundy lost some time. I saw him have another close encounter with a lapper. Troy Fagan spun in front of him, nearly collected him, but definitely Marcel Moose looks faster than Lundy right now as Barbosa closes back up under Binkley, pokes his nose on the inside of Surtees. They got a lapper in front of him. They're side by side on the exit of Surtees, but nope, Barbosa gets it. Barbosa has that fourth place over Justin Binkley, who is right on his tail, and they have Justin Brunner just a couple of tenths behind them. So action all over, Richard.
Yes, indeed, and that was a really neat move. Got some really good power down on the exit there of the turn, and got past Binkley, who was having to stay on the outside to give him room. But now they've got a lap car in front of them. That is Warren McGarry. So we will see if this affects things a little bit. Kevin Binkley, we've seen, doesn't give up very easily. He's been back and forth through positions, but at this point now, Barbosa seems to just get away. Maybe Binkley has decided that he'll wait for another opportunity. Back to the Marcel Moose and Jason Lundy. This is the battle for second place, Kevin, and it is not over yet, let me tell you. At the moment, an hour has already passed. There can't be many laps left, if indeed any laps left.
Yep, you're right. We're looking at about 2, maybe 3 laps, depending on when we get the white flag. We'll try and get that to you as quickly as we can. Moose struggling a little bit on the exit of Surtees. They're not sure why, but indeed he did. So he's got a little bit of ground to gain up now that he just lost that up. So, I'm just watching. Lundy seems to have responded to the challenge from Moose and driving well again.
Yeah, I tell you what, we didn't see the action that affected Jason Lundy's position and the reason why Marcel Moose managed to catch up. But here we go. This is it. As they come through that second lap, and there's a car in front of them. They both missed it. Who was that spun
Sonny
right
Prince.
in front? Oh my God, that was close.
Yeah, that was Sonny Prince, who had spun out of Sterling's and had bounced off the wall after fish tanking, and there wasn't anything Prince could do about it except hold the car where it was, which he did a pretty good job of, and that just gave Moose and Lundy just enough room to get by. But I'm sure Lundy's heart was in his throat there.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but now we have a position, a situation, I should say, where Moose and Lundy are kind of, showing their strength at various parts of the track. And I wonder whether Moose has got enough to get by Jason Lundy, who's shown that he's a very good driver of that Z4, Kevin.
Yes, indeed he has, and I know he's been putting in a lot of practice for the Pacific Majors Daytona 2.4 hour this Sunday night on GSRC, so make sure you tune in for that. But Moose looking very, very quick once again through Hawthorne. Still about, we got about a lap and a half left for these guys. Paquin should be starting his final lap. Just a little bit. He's on the final corner there, but Moose, he doesn't have a lot of time to make this happen if he's going to make it happen.
And there's a car in front of Paquin coming off the... Whoa, he was off track. That was Miguel Acruda, way off track. Came out. I thought he was going to come right across the track, but thankfully he didn't. And that would have ended Paquin's day. It just goes to show, first or last lap, there is always a risk, no matter how good things are going.
And, well, let me tell you, Moose almost got into the back of Jason Lundy around Clark Curve. As they go around Paddock Hill Bend, they've got a spun car in front of them. I can't tell who that was. That was Jason Zondor off in the pits. They see all that smoke, and that's got to scare you because you can't see anything coming around that corner. And if all you see is smoke. So Paquin on the white flag lap right now as he approaches Hawthorne. Moose looking all over Lundy right now. We'll try and keep an eye on everything right now.
This is last lap, folks, so this means all the marbles need to be thrown into the ring right now. We saw Moose just make a big move trying to get through on Lundy there through Surtees. Couldn't make it happen. Jason Lundy now through a part of the course which I think he seems to like. He draws away a little bit from Moose. Paquin, meanwhile, heading towards the line. He's coming towards the final corner, clearways. Takes the right-hander, goes ahead, Kevin, and he's going to win this race.
Indeed, a flawless run from John Paquin as Moose looking one last time. No, he's too far away. Justin Bruner also too far away from Kevin Binkley as Binkley gets a little loose going into Dingledale, but that's not going to change anything right now. And it looks like Lundy gets a great run out of Clark. He's going to run up the pit straight and take that second place over Marcel Moose. Hugo Barbosa now coming out of the last corner. He is going to have a nicely earned fourth place, and Kevin Binkley holds off Justin Bruner for the final lap.
Yes, and some great racing from these guys. They've given us a lot of entertainment right here, and good on John Paquin taking the win fairly easily, but whilst it may look easy to us here sitting in the booth and people watching on their monitors, I can tell you that it is not that easy sitting in the car, Kevin.
It is not, but let's tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with race results and hopefully some driver interviews.
Yes, there will be some information on our upcoming races during the break. Do look out for that. There's a lot of racing coming from GSRC. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Welcome back, folks, to Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit here in England. And we have seen a great race, and we remind you that this race is sponsored by Woody's Lures, suppliers of lures and flies for all your fishing needs. Well, Kevin, I thought this was a very, very exciting race. It might not have looked that exciting from John Paquin's viewpoint. He just ran away with it. But certainly there were a bunch of battles that we saw and that we followed and were able to bring to the viewers. So let's just run through the standings and see how they finished.
Yep, as you said, John Paquin, our winner, and a big winner by that, over 18 seconds to Jason Lundy in second, who moved up very well through the field. In third, Marcel Moose, who it turns out had contact at some point with a back marker. We missed that. In fourth, just off the podium, Hugo Barbosa. In fifth, Justin Brunner. Sixth was Kevin Binkley. Seventh, Ricardo Mendez. Eighth was Tom Rathje after some struggles. Ninth was Julie Redman. Miguel Alcrudo was the first of the lap cars, and he was in 10th, Richard.
And in 11th place, Ryan Castelline finished. Then David Slee in 12th place. Darren Leslie, a very respectable 13th place. Rick D. Smith in 14th. Drew Lidke, who we followed in a couple of battles, finished in 15th place. Sonny Prince in 16th. Daniel Rice in 17th. Peter Hebron in 18th place. Anthony James, or Anthony M. James, to give you his full name, finished in 19th place. And Tim Collier in 20th.
In 21st was Troy Fagan. David Sockrider was 22nd, 2 laps down. 23rd, Kevin Hennings. 24th, Kyle Herron. Alex Peterson in 25th. Warren McGarry in 26th. Jason Zonder in 27th. Jay Dargert in 28th. Chris Hamilton 3 in 29th. And we should point out that these cars all laps down. Lots of damage. Jay Friels in 30th, Richard.
Yes, and bringing up the rear of the field, Simon G. Goodwin in 31st place, followed by Christopher Burling, Mike Ruder, Jerry Hamilton, and Javier Torres, who did not run any laps by the looks of it. Well, those are the standings. The podium once again for you: John Paquin winning, Jason Lundy in second place, and Marcel Moose in third place. Now we are going to try and get some interviews going, and let us start with Kevin. Jason Lundy, would you like to have a chat with Jason?
Yes, absolutely. Jason Lundy, well done. You started in 9th place, I believe, and then finished in second. A great run through the field with some close calls, I might add.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic out there. This track is so narrow, and with so many cars on here, it seems like every lap there was someone you had to dodge or someone you had to get around that wasn't for position. So it was pretty busy today. Add to that, lots of close battles with me and Kevin early, and then Marcel trying to catch me out there at the end. It was a busy day behind the wheel today.
Now, it seems like some of your competitors took tires, which I thought was the wrong decision, and it seemed like you did not take tires, which I thought was the right decision. Talk a little bit about pit strategy.
Before the race, I actually thought the tires would be too much of a time penalty if you took them, so I thought about taking fronts only, and I changed that before the race. I actually took 4 tires, and I think that made a huge difference because Kevin Binkley, who I battled with earlier, he didn't take any tires, and his car just really fell on his face after that.
Yeah, I watched him a little bit really struggle at the apex. Looked like he got really, really loose. So, did you think you would have been able to hold off Marcel for much longer?
I actually think so. I think his car had a bit of damage from earlier in the race, and then I know there was some accident with Hugo, Ricardo, and himself later on. So I think I would have been able to hold him off. He got real close to me at the end, but I think he just had too much aero damage to really get a draft down the straightaway and try and move on me.
Well, it looked like John Paquin was pretty much untouchable today, but congratulations on a very well-deserved second today.
Thank you, Kevin.
Well, folks, we are going to try and have a chat with Justin Brunner, and we've just brought him into the booth with us here. Justin, you started your race from 4th position, finished up in 5th position. Not a bad day for you. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, I lost a couple positions at the beginning. Took 4 tires. Didn't know if that put me back a little bit. I feel like I fell a little bit back to 8th. And then made up some positions, and then that last lap I ended up getting around Kevin, luckily, but couldn't catch up to Barbosa.
Yeah, so how was it out there? We've just spoken to Jason Lundy. He said it was pretty busy, dodging traffic, spinning cars, and then trying to do battle with guys that are in front of you. Pretty busy day for him. Was it the same for you?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, a lot of lap traffic gets out of the way, so it's kind of nice. I mean, a lot of these guys in here are really courteous and let everyone battle who needs to battle. I mean, in the last lap, someone let me around so I could get up to Kevin, and everyone is pretty nice. Wasn't as busy as I expected it to be.
Oh, really? Okay. From where we were sitting, there were cars all over the place. Some pretty good battles that you were in as well. And at times it looked good, and then things got out of hand a little bit as well. So that's just racing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Justin, we congratulate you on a good 5th position in a field of something over 30 cars. That has to be a good finish. So I'm pretty sure you feel quite happy about it.
Yes, for sure I am.
All right, congratulations once again, and thank you for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Kevin, might we bring in someone else to have a chat with? Julie Redmond, we brought into the booth. Go ahead.
Hi.
Julie, hi. Good to see you in here. It looks like you started 10th and you finished 9th in a tough race. I thought I saw you spin off at some point. Am I delusional here?
No, first of all, how you doing? Love the broadcast. No, I definitely, I was coming in, I always get the turns confused, but one of my buddies gonna tap me in a corner. He got a wheel off, so yeah, it pretty much totaled the car. I was able to drive to the pit, get a quick fix, get back out there, but it hosed my pit strategy completely.
That's unfortunate. Did you think you had the pace for a top 5 today?
Well, I'm pro-am, so I probably could have, but once that happened, I couldn't take tires, so when I did pits.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit with Jason Lundy about pit strategy, about whether or not to take tires, and he says he did not. And so it sounds like you definitely wanted to take tires in.
I had thought about it. The car started getting a little loose, pushing, so I thought about it, but I couldn't afford the time, so I didn't.
Yeah, I said several times I just did not think that taking tires was the right strategy in the race. So it probably served you well. You're definitely, as far as we can tell, the first finisher in the Pro-Am class. So you got to feel good about that class win.
Yes, I do. Thank you. That's my first win at CMS, so I'm really excited.
Oh, hey, all right, your first win and at a tough track, so you got to think a little bit better about Brian's Hatch for sure now.
Well, I've always liked that track, but yes, definitely. Great.
All right, well, congrats on your win tonight, Julie.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, I think we have time for one more. We'll bring in Mr. Castelline and we'll have a word with, let me see, what position did you finish in? Ryan, a lap down on the leaders there, but how do you feel about your race today?
It started off pretty good. I mean, I started in 11th. I worked my way all the way up to, I believe, 5th at one point. And going into the hairpin, I decided to like kind of knock the traction control down one notch, and yeah, spun and took some damage. Went and grabbed a new nose, grabbed some fuel, ran the rest of the race. I got all the way back up to 8th, and I actually missed the race by I think like 6 or 7 liters. And ended up in 11th.
Yeah, well, that was your starting position after qualifying, 11th place. So at least you finished where you started. Like you said, we watched you from time to time. You were up a little way further than 11th place. But you know, it was a very, very busy track. There was traffic everywhere. There were also cars spinning around. Did you find a lot of difficulty with other cars?
I felt that there was a lot of busyness on the track, but everyone that I was around pretty much, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 cars, was very lenient, and it was very easy to get around people, and it didn't seem busy when you were driving. It was just kind of like, oh, I just drove by that guy, and didn't really notice him. But I can see how it did look busy, and when we were following Jason there for a while, it was pretty nuts. We were having a good battle with Justin, and I think Barbosa was in there as well.
Yeah, there were lots of battles, and we followed quite a few of them. And certainly towards the end of the race, it was not a runaway victory for anybody excepting John Paquin, who won the race. Well, my friend, congratulations on a good finish. It's the first race of what is going to be a quite long season, so plenty of time to make good on that 11th place in future races. You there, Ryan?
Yes, yeah. Hopefully I can do a little bit better next time, but...
Okay. Congratulations, 11th place. Not a bad finish. Well, folks, to time come now to wrap things up. I'll get a word in from Kevin on how he felt the race went and what we might expect in future races. Kevin?
Well, I believe that Champion Motorsports saw a lot of new faces to the race today, and some good action, some wrecks, actually a lot of wrecks in the back of the field that we didn't show you. I tuned in a lot of times to see spinning cars here and there going off. So the back of the field had some difficulties trying to keep it on track, but this is a difficult place to keep it on track sometimes, so I don't blame them too much. But some great action up front and a dominating win by John Paquin. So we'll have to see how things shake out next time.
Well, that's right, and we'll be following the rest of the series. And we'll be, now that we know what these drivers are like, we'll be looking out for guys like Jason Lundy, Marcel Moose, Barbosa, etc. Kevin Binkley, who featured a lot in our broadcast as well, being chased down and doing some chasing. A good race, I thought, Kevin. 30-odd cars on the track. It's never easy when you have that many cars on track. Commiserations to Tom Rache. I thought that he was a podium finisher at one stage, but it didn't work out for him. Julie Redmond, a win in her class. Great job from her. So a really good race, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. But that is it from GSRC, the Global Sim Racing Channel. At this time of the broadcast, we would like to thank a bunch of people. We'll start by thanking Woody's Lures for sponsoring this series. Woody's supplies lures and flies for fishing. And for those of you who like fishing, go along and get your equipment and stuff from Woody's Lures. We would like to thank the organizers of this series for the very hard work it takes in managing this and other series that they run as well. We will also like to thank iRacing.com, XSplit, Twitch TV, Audio Technica, Behringer, and Ava Media for providing software and hardware that we use in the broadcasts. We would also like to thank Dougie Beard, especially for bringing to us the great camera sets, manufacturing the great camera sets for us that we use in the broadcast. Thank to the broadcast team today, Kevin, great job. And of course, our director, Joe Peak, who struggled to keep up with us as we jump from pillar to post. Good job, Joe. If you'd like to find out more about us, Global Sim Racing Channel, we have a website at www.globalsimracingchannel.com. Go along there and you will find our broadcast schedule along with all the archived races of, what is it, Kevin, we're getting up to 3 years now, so there'll be 3 years worth of races for you to have a look at. There are also a number of races with highlights only, so go along and have a look at that. If you want to follow us on Facebook, we are on Facebook. Our page is Global Sim Racing Channel. And we are also on Twitter at GSR Channel. Very special thank you to the people who provide music for us. Eric Ekholm is one of those. Casey Lalonde is another. They provide us with some really great music. You can find their music not only here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, but you may come across some TV commercials, movie trailers that will feature their music, as well as you can find them on iTunes and Spotify. If you do like the music, you can get to Eric Ekholm at Eric Ekholm. At Eric Ekholm is his handle, and Casey Lalonde is caseylalonde.bandcamp.com. Do go along and listen to these guys and their music. Now we have a number of upcoming broadcasts on Wednesday the 21st of January. That is today. We have the DW12 race. In fact, that is in progress at the moment. So hop across to Chicagoland and have a look at the Dallara IndyCars racing at Chicagoland. Then on Sunday, the 25th of January, Pacific Majors, their season 2 kicks off. Round 1 at Daytona, and that will feature the DPs, the CR6s, Corvettes, and of course GT3 cars as well. So that's on January 25. On January 31, the following Saturday, we start off the MX5 World Tour, their season number 9. Race 1 will be at Suzuka, the Grand Prix version, or Grand Prix layout I should say, and of course that features the MX5 Cup car. And look out, we are preparing Global Sim Racing Channel. I'll bring you in here, Kevin. The Global Sim Racing Channel will be putting on our annual showcase. We don't have too many details at this stage. Just talk a little bit about that, Kevin.
Well, I don't want to give out too many details because we haven't officially announced it yet, but look for a doubleheader race with some of the best drivers that have raced GSRC broadcast. We've got a road race and an oval race, and that's kind of all I want to say about that, except that it is sure to be entertaining as all get up.
Right, and that is called the All-Star Invitational Race. So look out for details coming to a forum near you. Well, thank you for watching. That is it. And as we usually say at the end of our broadcasts, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on track.